Good evening. This is the Elliott Wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Thursday, July 7th, 2022. Starting here on the daily chart, we saw an additional thin but strong rally continue, and the NASDAQ got itself above 12,100. So we're heading up further, in my opinion. And I have gone ahead and put that. I had the two scenarios that I had been presenting over the last several days, but I was running in parallel. And I do believe the minor wave 2 is still in play. And we now have some targets, and I'll break that down as soon as I zip down there. But we now continue to have the potential to continue to rise, and tomorrow being expiration, it wouldn't surprise me to see it being done quickly in the morning. And then once expiration is kind of winding down, that they may start to sell it, depending on how high it gets. So right now, if minor wave 2 is still in action, drop down to the hourly chart. This continues to be it's troublesome to me because it's just not very anything. It's kind of ugly. It's very difficult to try to interpret. This is definitely what appears to be, could be an ABC down, but at first take, it definitely looks like 5 down. And even if I blow it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looks pretty clean to be a 5, which makes, well, then what's that? Because it's obviously not a 5, et cetera, et cetera. So this here got off to a terrible start, which left it into that corrective mode all along. And so we had the A and a very strange B wave. There was the A, the B, the C for B. And then we go into, actually, this is 1, A, B, 2, excuse me. And I believe we're going to go much higher and blast kind of from here, or this could be counted 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we really did take off. And that was the key. The key was to catch the 1, 2, 1, 2. And it was brought to my attention by a member of the trade room, but it was in the S&P. So I did notice it here as well, which kind of did then fill in the blank and don't fight any of that. And the fact that they could do it on thin volume didn't really change the situation, but it just added to the need, the demand be for the buyers who come from the buyers, and the sellers just kind of stood back and took advantage of that. So I think it was all, excuse me, if you had to trade, it was all came out in the end. In any case, I'm going to say 1, A, B, C, 2, and we're working 2 of C. We'll work on that C wave. And whether I want to count this as 1 of 3 or much all of 3, and then this is a 4, and then we get a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 to complete the 3, and then another dip and another run to complete the whole thing. So I think we're kind of maybe not going to get as big of a move, maybe, but I think just more consistent, just over time, just going to kind of go up and continue to go. So for tomorrow, I would anticipate a continuation higher till we get this incomplete. I can go to the 4-hour here, still get us that same picture. So we can see A, B, and now we're in the C wave up, and even within that C wave, it's sloppy. That's 1, A, B, C, 2, and then 1, 2, or if this is 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, done. So I think we have strong potential of at least getting to 12,300, possibly as high as 12,571, which is where the C wave would be equal to the A wave. We have surpassed the most common, C to A, Often there's only 618 of A. That's been surpassed, but the market stopped right on it. So we're sitting right at that Fibonacci level. And above it, we have 12,212. Then we have 12,310 and then 12,571. So we get a little bit of a space in between here. And as we go from, we add that last part for the for the C wave to be equal to the A wave. Again, once this is complete, because I can't rule out that it does just continue to extend, we can show, but it would be a larger C wave, not out of the ordinary. So if the bullishness continues and we continue to push, then we're looking at the possibility of ringing in with 13,000. Right now, I'm just looking for it to get above here, which is 12,262, and then get itself up into the zone that could complete the move, complete the count, and then we'll see, because what comes after minor wave 2, of course, is minor wave 3, and I would be looking for a fairly strong turn, and to be really more of that, just taking it down from wherever we are, just taking it down, getting it back below 11,350, getting it back below 11,068, getting it back below 10,600. So we have levels, but that's still out there. Right now, people are not, they're going to call me short-sighted, foolish, or whatever, because how could you? Look at the market. It's just doing great. It's like, yes, it's a correction. It should do great. It should go up. It should be deceptive. It should fool everybody. And then boom, and the next phase will come in. If it doesn't, I'm going to be very honest with you. Trade without a bias, bullish, not bearish. Whatever comes in and you got a hold of that day, you trade. There is enough Fibonacci work that you can do. There's enough to trade. There's enough movement. There's enough Elliott. There's enough that'll give you parameters where you will know. And plus the price action, trade the price action. In any case, tomorrow, look for higher numbers. It is expiration. So again, right now, what's really been fueling a lot of the buy side is the strong moves in Apple and Microsoft. And Meta turned around. Google rallied pretty hard today. Google was up nice. But don't forget that splits on the 15th, et cetera, et cetera. So we have things that are going to affect the volatility coming up, and that split in Google being major. That should cut the volatility and volatility as we measured in price action. So in other words, Google going up 84 to 100 points will still, in terms of your position, be equal to a $8 to $10 rise in the stock. And that won't necessarily provide the same boost to volatility because of the price movement. The 2,362, which could have, I don't know if it traded up at 2,400, but it did not. But who knows? In any case, I'm going to leave it right there. I have a great expiration. Keep your eye on the moving averages, which, by the way, as we got up here, at least the 4-hour, you can see the 200 EMA and the 200 SMA are basically very flat, which is kind of interesting considering this rally. They're flat. So this is kind of like drawing up a line of support at the moment. So I would expect support to be above 11,960, somewhere around there, and to 70 to 80 to 1,200, or 12,000, excuse me. So 11,960 to 12,000 is support. And below it, we have additional support at 11,861, 816, 766, 16,000, all of these different levels all the way down. So a breakdown from here would put this into a failure. Still possible, but I would put it in a failure. And if that were the case, the trip down should just be like boom, 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 boom. When something fails with this much momentum behind it, it's got to be just crack. Well, if you stick your face up to buy it, you're going to get buried, and they're just going to take it down dollars looking for buyers. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave it. And our next update will be on Sunday, July the 10th.